I think there are two key issues that should be on the research agenda in terms of global governance and the G20. The first, of course, is the very existential question about the reform of the global governance system. We talk about tinkering with something here and something there, and there's been some talk more recently about needing to reform the WTO. But I think we actually I think this is the time now, and perhaps this is the great opportunity presented by the upheavals caused by statements around trade and other things by the Trump administration. I think this is a useful time to actually really think systemically about global governance reform, and I think here research has a key role to play. The second element relates, I think, to technology and new technologies, and the fact that while they can be of extreme use developmentally, economically, and so on, we actually have to move rapidly to developing the rules of engagement and the rules of the game on that. Again, here I think research is already, research linking global governance with these technological changes has already begun, but I think these are the new frontiers that actually need to be accelerated.
For me, I think what is most essential is looking at global architectures, which is the global governance institutional architectures. And in the past, we've seen that institutional architectures normally tend to be outdated. They tend to be equipped to be addressing problems which do not exist anymore. So for me, the real frontier, as an example, I can say that it has classically been recorded that the League of Nations probably was, equipped to prevent the First World War, which was not its mandate really. So the new frontiers of research as far as global governance is concerned is whether we can think of an institutional architecture that looks at solving problems that we are going to be seeing in the future. And in fact, we have discussed some of these in the presentations during the conference as well. The new digital age is something that was presented, things like artificial intelligence, the new sort of problems, but also more traditionally speaking, new power shifts, new dynamics, new power relations. I think as people who are looking at global governance, we need to be looking at designing institutions that are forward-looking. That would be really one of the new frontiers. And a learning from what we have in the current institutional architecture.
Before 2016, our main impression was that global governance is under pressure because it's not so effective and it's not promoting the change in the speed and in the depth as it might be necessary. But after that, in the last 2 years, we have seen that the questioning of globalization as an elite project and not contributing sufficiently in reducing not only poverty but also inequalities within countries mostly, and not only between countries. This is a request now which is posed by people to global governance, and the question is whether the G20 will embark in such a reform project of multilateralism. Make a reform project which really contributes to sustainable development, which delivers public goods and not only benefits and advantages to G20 member states. That is, I think, a question which G20 member states have to evaluate for themselves too, whether they continue believing in a rules-based liberal world order, or whether they think maybe it's a time for betting on advantages for G20 countries only. I think there is a chance to drive the discussion within the G20 or the G19 into a more positive direction. But it's a question of research, actually.